aim to help those with obesity. Obesity is highly prevalent in the United States. It is sitting at 42% back in 2017 through 2018. And this is a serious cause for heart disease. Heart disease is a leading cause for death in the United States. About 1 in 4 people die because of heart disease. And the Gantt chart for this application can be seen here. There was a server used for this, so there is an API that needed to get built out. I did use a ORM by the name of Prisma for interacting with my database, and I did use connection pooling as well as the Postgres database. So building those out were part of the project. Several different pages I need to build out, which we'll go over. There are ones related to authentication as well as data entry, the diet, weight, and exercise. And there can also be tasks that I needed to complete for deploying as well as testing the load of the application to make sure it can withstand lots of different connections at one point. For deployments, I did use the Vercel platform. That is the recommended deployment host for Next.js applications, and they do have great integrations with GitHub where you can sign into your account, select your repo, and you'll get automatic code deploys. They'll provide you the domain, and you just kind of need to fill in your environment variables, and you get a website. It'll also provide you different functions that you can view the logs for the different API backend that you have. As far as research, the application used CDC data. This is a graph of my original data. I ended up changing because this is based on questionnaire data, and there was actually examination data that I was able to find on that same CDC and Haynes website. And some of the process I had to do for that after downloading it, it is a XPT file, which I need to get a software called Datasly, which allowed me to view it. And then after I had that, I took a body mass index column as well as a BMI category column, and I removed BMI rows which contained a BMI category. This effectively removed all children or ages 1 to 18, and this left me with about 8,000 usable rows after removing the empty columns or rows. This gave me the histogram chart shown here for BMI in the United States, and that is the one that I'm using in the application. Now I'm going to go through showing the application. So when you first get there on the unauthenticated landing page right here, you'll be greeted with this. And this is a show of a performance radar graph you can view if you enter in your goals for exercise, diet, and weight. And then if you scroll down, it just introduces you to some features in the application, as well as gives you a glimpse as to how it can land your BMI on a country-wide graph of BMI. And we have a way to get to our login page through here. We click the Get Started, we can get the login page, and it does use OAuth, so you can log in using GitHub or Google, as well as a password login. I'm going to go ahead and hit skip here, which fills it out with test user. And here we are in the now authenticated landing page. So this is part of the appointment system here, we get a toast, which tells us about our next appointment, and it does use local storage for determining if that's been snoozed and when the last time it's been checked, so it can periodically read that and check if it needs to give you a notification. And we have the different routes here. We have 3JS, which provides these models, as well as the charts are made by Chart.js, and this is already giving you some output on how well this, based on this user's goals and data, how well they're doing. We can look into that a little bit more as we get to the profile as well as the data entry pages. But here we have the research being used within the application. So that NHANES CDC data is being used here, roughly about 8,000 rows used to generate this histogram. And then all that's being done on the very end is taking the BMI for the user and putting a point on it for whichever BMI they fall under. I'll now go to left to right through this different navigation up here. So we have the wiki. This just provides helpful information about the obesity as well as how to prevent, what can be caused from it, and links to get more information from the CDC and World Health Organization. And appointments. This was a requirement put out by Ronnie Jones for this project, and it essentially is a way to let you know about upcoming doctor's appointments, but it can be used more generally than that. You can put in whatever you have coming up, some kind of examination, and you can put that up there, and it will notify you when you log into the application. That's just a way to edit them, add them, and delete them. And if we go to the profile, here we can see some of these goals that are being set. So you can edit all of this, set your name, daily caloric intake goals, goals for how much you want to exercise in a week, goal, weight in pounds, and height. This is used for BMI. You need someone's height and weight in order to calculate that. And you can enter in your age and how much you have to take in for calories to maintain weight. So take this latest weight entered in on the tracking weight page and take this height. We then can calculate the BMI, sets it to about 28 or so for this user, as we saw in that graph. And let's go ahead and take a look at one of the 3 different paths that you can do data entry for. The first one we have here is weight, and you see a line chart for this, and you can select what year you want to be viewing. It's going to be setting it up on a month. For the x-axis here, and you can see we were in March at a weight of 220, and then in April it's moved down. It looks like it's averaging it, but it's moved down to 202. We can see here's the March 220, and then we have the different weights here for April, and we can add records to that. And that'll already get calculated and adjust right there. Move over to exercise. This is a month view, and it'll have a daily length as well as sort by the intensity of the workout. So you can just add right to these. Have something like worked out 30 minutes, burned 600 calories. It was a medium intensity workout. It already is placing the current date, but you can set this to whichever date you want. I'm going to leave it at current. We're going to submit that. It already gets added to the table there, and then it also updates the graph here. 30 minutes of medium intensity. And just to show the different bars, you can have them stacked, which looks nice. And you can set this up to view the different months that you have data for. Currently, looks like we have only April. And if we go to diet, we can see the third and final form of data entry. This is just setting up how much calories someone consumed in a day. Similar to exercise, it has it set up in a monthly view where it has the different days, and you just enter in what you might have had that day, and it'll set it up there. And another feature here is you can edit if you entered in something wrong. You can edit those values as well as the date. And we can see here it's going to drop down a bit slightly and move back one day. Let's go ahead and save it. And it did just that. And now that we've had a little bit more data entered in, it gave us a different performance view here. We are getting closer to our weight goal, as well as we put in some more exercise and data for our diet, and that is giving us feedback on how we're doing for those different fields here. For future work for this project, I would like to have notifications which aren't just completely within the browser. I want to set up SMS or email. This does involve going through lots of different requirements where you need to authenticate the user's email, send them an email and have them confirm it, as well as pay for sending out SMS for these notifications. But that would be a great way to improve this application from here. And that about covers the Health Assistant application. Thanks for watching.